We're following up on a project that was done last year by Dr. Hanley's graduate student, Stephanie Mundis. She did a survey to really map the 80s distribution more across a large portion of New Mexico. And what we're doing this year is we're bringing it in and looking at the distribution of 80s more in urban areas than rural areas as a follow-up to that work, because they were found to be more in urban areas than rural areas, the 80s species that we're looking for. So specifically in the city, we're looking at different levels of urbanization, so different population levels, different levels of vegetation that are dispersed within the areas of the city. Some of them are just houses, people's houses within the middle of subdivisions. Some of the sites are local parks that might be, in the middle of the downtown area. We're also checking some of the urbanization that exists in the outer areas of town, so such as Picacho Hills or the Sonoma Ranch area, Highway 70. We're also checking those. So the traps go out in the evening and are collected the next morning, and we set up traps about twice a week and cover anywhere from 10 to 15 sites a week. Sometimes we catch as little as 10, and sometimes we can catch as many as 100. The little black cups that you see are called oviposition cups, and they're designed to be a little place where the mosquitoes, the 80s mosquitoes that we're specifically looking for, want to lay their eggs on the paddles. And then we take those paddles and we take them back to the Hansen lab, and they hatch them and rear them and do the testing that they're doing on them. For the BG Sentinel traps, we take them out, we pull them out of their bag, we have to prop them up with their boning that keeps the whole trap sturdy, and then we have to plug a battery into them, which starts a fan on the inside that generates a suction, which pulls the mosquitoes into a net that's been placed at the top of the trap. On the inside of the trap is what's called a lure. It's basically a bait lure. It smells really bad, and it's designed to attract the mosquitoes to come into the net, and then the fan pulls them in where they get caught in the net. The black trap is a gravid trap, so it also works very similarly. It's a battery-powered trap that has a fan, which generates a suction and pulls the mosquitoes off of a pool of bait water that we have put into a tub. When the mosquitoes come in to check out the water source, lay eggs or get a drink, they're sucked up by the fan into the trap, into a cage, and that's what we collect the next day. We're also doing our work in conjunction with other students, so the GIS, the geography department, and then we also have students from BCom. So we're getting help from both of those sectors of the university to help us do our mapping of where we should sample, and to also pick up the samples and do tests on the samples.
Eye on Research is a production of New Mexico State University.